Hello guys, I'm Orbiter, your Welsh engineer, and welcome back to Kerbal Quest, Series 2, Part 32, Eeloo and Back, a chocolate story. Yes, some of you may notice this launcher. Yeah, I put it in my music video. That was a last minute thing. I decided, wait a minute, I've never done a music video, let's try it. And for all my videos I've put out, I've never done just basic Kerbal Space Program video with music in the background. Like I have here, yeah, I know. Anyway, let's get to this. I had to build a huge launcher because I know it takes a lot of Delta V to get to Eeloo. And the more stuff you stack on top of it, the more bigger launcher and more boosters that you require. Don't forget the struts. Yes, I've given up on auto-strutting everything because the Kraken attacks if you do. So this launcher was built with onion staging on the bottom stage. That way we could get the boost from the launch pad, and then we have asparagus staging on the top with the large boosters that we have. However, do note, look at this bit. You can see the rockets wobbling back and forth. I'm getting confused and worried by here actually. But yeah, if you want to make sure your rocket is stable, have the boosters as far down as possible. That makes everything much more stable. I think it's the pendulum effect. I believe Scott Manley did talk about it before, and perhaps I should do experiments in it, because you never know. In other words, some people thought it would be stable if you had all the rockets on the top, pulling the entire craft into space. However, this does not work. That's why NASA used one big, long, tall, phallic object to launch into space all the time. To please the gods. Anyway, getting back to this mission. Now that we're in orbit, let's set our sights for Eeloo. I believe someone wants to go there and mine some chocolate, but before we go there we need to find out what chocolate it is. Is it Nestle chocolate or is it Cadbury's chocolate? If it's Cadbury's chocolate, we'll be there ready. But if it's Nestle chocolate, I think we might have to give it a miss and go back to Duna because it's a lovely chocolate bar. Helps Kerbals work, snack and play. Anyway, let's set our sights for Eeloo. And as you can see, I'm using the maneuver planner by MechJeb, which I couldn't get out. And yes, and the reason why I use MechJeb because it is the most accurate and it is automatic. Yeah, I suppose I could use these sort of like window thingamajiggy. However, sometimes you need to take the shortcut and use computers. By the way, NASA uses computers, so why is it a crime? Yeah, and I've proven before I can do interplanetary transfers. In fact, I think the hardest interplanetary transfer I have done is Moho without any tools whatsoever. Yeah, it's because it's at a high inclination orbit. However, because Eeloo is far out, I think it's a little easier to get to. Telling the truth, I have not used anything other than MechJeb to get to Eeloo. So I'll have to try that a go one time. So here we are at Eeloo. It has been sought after because they saw the brown dust on the surface. They believe it is one of those planets which are made from chocolate, covered by that candy shell. The Kraken has taken a bite of it, and that's why the shell is cracked. But we're fearing before the Kraken arrives back at it, we need to make sure it's the right chocolate for mining. So we brought our rover. Yes, this is an awesome contraption that will get us to the surface, land, and then flip over to be a rover. However, there were mistakes were made. Mistakes made? Is that the way to say it? Anyway, we have Shamozani. And he has realized that we have no solar panels on our return craft. Because after we launch up from the surface with the rover lander thingamajiggy, we need the return craft to get back because the lander rover is not going to dock back with this thing. So yes, to make sure it still has power when we come back to it and it's nice and warm, because Zamanzi is going to be the pilot of this craft. He is going to look after it while all the other Kerbals go munching chocolates. Take samples of the surface. So let's get Zamanzi on board the return craft and then get the rover down for landing. Okay, yeah, just trying to make sure that we have electricity on the board. We've started draining the electricity charge. Good tip, by the way, if you want us to conserve energy or that you're worried that you're going to lose energy, sometimes the best plan is to let yourself run out of energy, but cut off one of the batteries so then it's not providing the charge. So it stays fully charged until you actually need it. Say like you're coming in for landing now. So you need the charge for landing, so then you enable the battery while you're coming in for landing. It is an awesome fix for a problem that many Kerbals face and have devastated missions a lot. Anyway, you can see the orbiter and the debris going off in the distance, the shadow casted on the planet over the chocolate and the icing covering that we have here. This is always nerve-wracking, especially when I come in for landing on one of these bodies. And I believe, where is it, the third or fourth, actually the fourth mission I've come to Eeloo. 2 private, and I believe 2 on Kerbal Space Program on the videos. Okay, so I'm in for a nice landing now. Always take it nice and easy. Just little thrust to kill our velocity. And I don't think I realised that this actual rocket is quite powerful. I think it was 5. The thrust weight ratio was about 5. Anyway, we have landed in the centre of what could be known as the best chocolate. And if you might notice, this is the genius of my rover. I've got rockets to tilt it over, and you start firing up, bringing the gear, and you flip over. Yes, I tried this with traditional, or stock wheels as you probably call them, but I found that these tracks are the best to use for this mission. And what mods is it from? Wait a second, let me find out. Aha! I found it. It was Kerbal Foundries 2. Yes. Oh no. Oh dear me. Yes, we have to make sure we don't turn over too quickly or go on steep slopes sideways. So yeah, this is what you have to do. You have to enable one of the rockets. That doesn't flip over. Enable the reverse on the other side. And flip her over. Again, come on, more. No, too much. Let's try this like this. Again, flip it over. And yes, awesome. I believe those rockets also come with the Kerbal Foundries. Or it might be the UI mod. I can't remember. Anyway, let's get One-Shot Archer out on EVA. And he needs to take a sample of this chocolate. So here we go. Is it Cadbury's? I don't know. A frozen river of chocolate. Yes, we may have to come here and do a mining mission. Let me know in the comments below. Ah yes, a fatal design flaw. I found out that I built ladders in this, that the Kerbals, as you can see on this side, the ladder's been destroyed because we flipped the rover over. However, I designed this so that the Kerbals could easily enter and exit when it's in landing mode. Hey, let me in. Oh, damn it. I believe the best way I found was to get on board by using the jetpack. However, the Kerbal did not have enough thrust to weight ratio because he had too many things in his inventory. Yeah, once they're out, it's easy to get the Kerbal in. Anyway, leaving this junk on the surface, contaminating all that lovely, delicious chocolate, I mean planet soil, or whatever it's called. We arise to the surface, to the frosting. We need to take a sample up here as well. By the way, I am adding Kerbals, don't worry. By the way, any strange edits in the footage, don't worry about it. It's just a mistake of some kind. Everything went fine. All the Kerbals survived. I mean, no one was harmed. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, we need to take another sample of the frosting. Let's see what James Tiberius Kerbin says. We have found all the frosting Kerbin needs. Oh, so it's not a hard candy shell, it's frosting. Anyway, let's get all the Kerbals out on EVA for a nice picture. And I think I used this for my thumbnail for my music video. Let me know if you enjoyed that music video, if you watched it. Anyway, let's get the rover flipped over. And you probably see things that you didn't see on the music video. Like this bit. Oh dear, yes. Tipped over. Yeah, I didn't realise that the engines on the side, that you can extend them out, as we will see in a moment. Anyway, let's try to flip this burger over. because we need to get the Kerbals in and return them safely. But while we're doing that, perhaps I could read out who the Kerbals we have on board today. Right, if I can get the spreadsheet up. We have on this mission... One-Shot Archer, James Tiberius Kirk, Phoenix, Zamanzi1, and Lucas. They are our Kerbals for this mission for Eeloo and Back, a chocolate story. By the way, I would like to ask not just the people who asked to be Kerbals and write comments who want to be read out, but let me know, did you enjoy the last episode where I didn't read out comments and didn't note the Kerbals that we used, and you just saw the ones that were on screen? Let me know in the comments what type of video style you like, whether you want comments read out, as I will be doing shortly, or not. Anyway, let's get this thing into orbit, and as we are doing so, let's read out some comments. So we have Daniel Norman, who is the first commenter, and he said hi. He didn't say first, he said hi. Stranded says, unlucky, nice try though. Damn Kraken, yes, that's from the last episode, where the space station exploded. Talking about the Kraken, you should visit it on Bop. I have, actually, on several occasions. I've done it on a live stream, I've done it on a video, I believe, on a scanning video, I can't remember exactly. But I've done it several times with Hyper Edit, I believe, just because I was curious. Anyway, he goes on to say, talking about the Kraken... Oh yeah, I read that. Damn. The reading comments out. Corey Newhart says, ouch. Sorry. And we have Zamanzi. He wants me to make a battleship in Kerman. Don't worry, I think I will at one point. BT Armory have added a load of mods and armor in it, in the mod. So yes, you should see it. It looks awesome. Might be doing something with that. Bryden Mixel. Oh my, you're doing this. Clap, 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 clap. Am I supposed to do the sound effects? I'm not sure. Oh yes, just to let you know, I decided that for some reason we did not have enough fuel on the return craft. I wasn't entirely sure on the return amount of fuel, because I've done missions to Eeloo, but I haven't done return missions. Cut me some slack here. Anyway, also, KSP is working again. Awesome, you can get your Kerbal fix. Everyone needs their Kerbal fix. Anyway, let's get One-Shot Archer, I believe, back in as we go through some more comments. Right, first thing first, we have to get the rover a bit closer because those fuel lines don't stretch. And this is the part that worried me more than anything else, which shouldn't be. But the reason is, I've had before a man arch mission. It wasn't called a man arch mission. I done sort of a man arch with 4 arches on either side, and attaching these and transferring fuel. Or no, that was a different mission. I'm confusing my missions up. Anyway, some crafts explode when you attach these pipes because Krakens like fuel. Now let's get Team Tiberius Kirk in. And for weekly, I sub you, master. And I shall watch all your videos and like and share. I love KSP and shall. That is awesome. Cheers, man. Anyway, oh yes, once after I transferred the fuel, I realized that I didn't actually need all these fuel tanks. I just needed 2 of them. That they were almost full to capacity with it. So yes, we can save more fuel, or more weight. And you have more Delta V. And I realized then we didn't need all that Delta V. As you can see, we've got almost 3,000 meters per second left. We have Louis Zedger. Keep up the good work, love you, man. Also, my KSP isn't working every time I launch it. It keeps crashing. In my last save tried. Everything, if someone could help me, you'd call you me daddy. Why? Okay, that is mad. Okay, guys, if you're going to ask for help, just list out what you use in Steam, normal KSP, which are not on Steam, or things like that. Okay, but let's get back to the video before we go through more comments. Because, yeah, we died. Luckily, this footage never existed. Or did it? I'm confused. This must be one of those multi-universe things. Because look at this, with Craft is still alive. And these guys realize that if we're going in too steep, we're going to crash and burn up, guys. The chocolate will be melted, and that'll be no good for us scientists. We cannot determine if it is Nestle, chocolate, or Cadbury's otherwise. So what we do a burn to slow down our speed, adjust our trajectory for a lower entering into the atmosphere, which I think was about 50 kilometers up. But we'll have to do multiple passes. That's the only problem. So yeah, a couple of extra days in space. Don't worry, the Kerbals have enough food. They have enough snacks on board. As long as they leave enough for our scientists to test to see if it's Cadbury's chocolate. Alright, quickly, let's bring the periapsis back up because we're a bit too steep here and we may explode again. Yeah, keep an eye on this. I decided to get rid of the rocket, obviously, because that'll explode if we bring it with us. Right, let's get to 2 more comments. Hi, this is from Kerbin. Funny enough, and as we're entering Kerbin's atmosphere. Hi, and now doing a maneuver to get a closer encounter with Jupiter and then get an encounter with Saturn after it. I have stock real-size solar system, just took me 1000 Delta V and a little more to get a Jupiter encounter. P.S. Doing my Voyager 1 replica. I was planning to do that at some point. I haven't really got round to doing it. I should really do it, but yeah, I've got other plans. And last comment from Radical47. What's the mod for auto stretch? I think you mean procedural parts. You can get it for wings or other parts. Yeah, procedural wings are awesome. I'll have to download that to do my space plane or SSTO crafts that I'm planning. Anyhow, keep an eye on the heat shield in the top left corner because we need to make sure that we have enough ablator for a last encounter with the atmosphere. But at this point, you can imagine that our Kerbals are using marshmallows on the end of sticks, putting them against the heat shield to roast them up like they're next to a fire, because they've got nothing but time to waste. As long as they're making sure they're pointing in the right direction, I can see it reduces the orbit height. Sometimes you find that the best way to reduce your orbit or use aerobraking is multiple passes. Before, in the old KSP stock game, it used to be that you just aerobraked, you wouldn't get destroyed. And even on the early re-entry heating, you didn't have the effects that things would go direly wrong. Perhaps one pass and then you'd be home free. However, no, in this version, it comes really dire. Look, we've got 44 ablator, 35 ablator. No, we're down to 25, 23. What do we get when we leave the atmosphere? And by the way, this is the last pass. We need one more pass. We got 12 ablator left, and we got a huge, thick bit of atmosphere to pass through. Will our Kerbal survive? Will the chocolate be in one piece? Will humans ever go to Mars? Find out really soon. Yeah, really soon, because oh dear, look at that ablator going down. We're hardly in the atmosphere. We're only 60 kilometers up. So look at that as well. I didn't realize that once the ablator runs out, it goes black. Okay, we're down to 4, 3, 2, 1, and we haven't got re-entry effect heating yet. Oh my, this is going to be a close one. Will the Kerbal survive? You may already know, in fact, if you watch the music video. By the way, if you haven't watched the music video, I'll put a link up the top there. I should really put that at the beginning of the video, the link, the card, just in case you don't want to watch this, you hear my voice rattling between your ears. Shouldn't that be the other way around? That your ears would be in between my awesome voice. Oh, that probably sounded creepy or something. I don't know. I still don't like listening to my voice, even after all these years. But anyway, let's get ourselves down. As you can see, we haven't exploded yet, which is a good sign. However, I normally find that re-entry at about 20 kilometers without heat shield is normally the deadliest part of the re-entry. And that is why I've added drogue chutes on the top of this, because once we get to the thicker part of the atmosphere, and hopefully that will be slowing down enough. As you probably saw, I also reduced the minimum pressure of those drogue chute parachutes when they open, and that is because you could reduce the amount of pressure, the minimum pressure, I think to 0.1, was it 0.01? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's 0.1. And oh dear, here we go through the thickest part of the atmosphere. I'm surprised we haven't exploded yet, but the speed, we're under 1,500 meters per second. This is why you need to do multiple passes. But the Kerbals have survived. The drogue chutes are open. We are done. We have brought the chocolate, the precious chocolate, back to Kerbin. No longer will the Kerbals be starved from snacks. Yes. No longer will we have to go to the rust-coloured tuna for all that horrible chocolate in chocolate bar form with all that caramel. Caramel. Anyway, let's get these Kerbals landed, get them out on EVA for their final photo shoot. All with their sunglasses on, and obviously with the sunlight out. Anyway, I'm Orbiter. Trust me, I'm an engineer.